Excuse me. Welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner, classic, known classics. Excuse me. Episode number 2032 and Doubleshot number 1926. I have technically 3 trades to talk about, but it's still technically Doubleshot. But I'm also discussing 2 bonus issues. Though I'm not discussing the whole trade because I've technically reviewed almost the whole thing already. But there's a couple things that I'm going to review when I get to it. Alright, first up is basically from our comics. We have Star Wars, the Halcyon Legacy. This is an anthology miniseries focused on one cruiser ship. This ship right here, where apparently it's been active for 300 years. Now, this book is done by the writer of the Bounty Hunters ongoing series, Ethan Stacks. Yes, Ethan Stacks. With artwork by Will Seeley. Of course, this is a multi-generational type book. We get appearances here by Lando, by, what was his name here? Hondo, who was from who first appeared in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. He appears in here. It's like various stories about this one ship, and it's able to be intact. It's able to be attacked by various times by pirates. Yeah, and of course, you have first. We go through like characters from the Old Republic days. They're like there for the first few issues. I kind of wish, and of course, they also have this interesting though, where this kid's bringing his grandfather and apparently remembers where he was there to see a fight between Anakin Skywalker and Shaz Ventress. I'm like, that's interesting. Who would have thunk basically with something like that? And then we have a Jedi Master who is actually currently deceased in the Star Wars timeline. Yeah, we had this sort of Wookiee who's basically a Jedi Knight. Yeah, a Wookiee Jedi Knight, that's something. And we have the face up against intruders. You have Jedi on board. Face up against, which was interesting to say the least. And that's there for like the first couple issues. We also have Aurora Singh. Yes, a character who actually made a first appearance in the Star Wars movies. You are thinking, which one? Phantom Menace in a cameo. Yes, seriously. She was actually one of the spectators at the Mos Eisley at the pod racing scene for Tatooine. That's where she made her debut. You're thinking, oh, that's interesting. And here she is. Unknown how old she is, because she's an alien, obviously. But she looks freaking gorgeous. Yeah, the way the CGI made her in the series, it's almost like, hey, any guy basically would want this woman so badly because how hot she is. That's the thing with her. Yeah, she's like this woman who's got this all her hair wrapped this one little bow and just got an antenna stick out of her head. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's not. I've never heard of the explanation for that. But I'm glad that Disney went when they basically. Well, here's the thing. Her appearances on the Star Wars Clone Wars CGI series, that is canon to the current timeline. I believe she's also made appearances in the original expanded universe. That's where she also appeared, which they expanded her backstory. But my guess is when the EU was basically moved to a separate thing and have Disney sub be canon. Basically, she's a blank slate. Basically, like what species she is, I had no idea. Excuse me. So we go from the Republic days to basically the era of all things like the prequel era. We actually have Anakin and Padme, possibly like not long. I would say because Anakin's got a scar here. This is probably 4 Princess. I'd say set during the Clone Wars, possibly. Yes. Which that covers the whole thing with Asajj Ventress being there. Yes. Yeah, then we have stuff with the Empire. We have Maz Kanata. But I forgot to mention this. The Han Solo Chewbacca book actually had the first time the Han met Maz Kanata. Yeah, she was a character who just actually appeared. Who made her first appearance, believe it or not, 7 years ago this month. 7 years ago. Maz Kanata. Yes, this alien woman who was played. This is motion capture. The actress is described as a very beautiful woman. I have seen one picture, and I can kind of agree. Very beautiful woman. And you have to put her in this motion capture type of thing, which is interesting. Lando, of course, basically, I do appreciate the artist, Will Seeley, drawing him like Billy D. Williams, the original actor. Not the actor appeared in the movie, which that's something else. But this book is just great. Love it. Yeah, another really good Star Wars miniseries. I kind of wish this is another book. I kind of wish they would expand to an ongoing series because there's so much here they could easily expand upon. They could basically have like this as a point of like explore more. I would love to see more of this exploration of the history of this ship because this book may be interested. Oh, Marvel, make this an ongoing series to keep Ethan Saxon's book. This book a 10 out of 10. It's really good. It's written by a guy, you can tell Ethan Stax is a clear Star Wars fan writing this book because there's so much essence of really good Star Wars in here. That's my opinion anyways. Next up it is Green Lantern Volume 2, Heracles, which contains Green Lantern Volume, I believe this is 6 issues, 5 through 12, and the annual. Excuse me. Yes. For some reason, this book decided to end. Believe it or not, this is actually finally came out with this book 6 months ago. 6 months ago. And by the way, was there an article or something mentioning that DC had decided to axe this book of 12 issues? Shockingly, no. There was nothing. Absolutely freaking nothing. I'll get more to that soon. So I'm also put basically we have weird stuff happening here. We have Geoffrey Thorne does the main Green Lantern issue with Ryan Candy doing the annual. These are your artists. You have Tom Rooney, Marco Cerati, Chris Cross, Juan Cerritos, Sam Berseri, Tom Barank, Andy McDonald, Andy Owens, and Maria Laura Cepillo. The cover is by Bernard Chain, Alex Sinclair, which is really good artwork here. And there's also an opinion about this book that was done by Critical Theory that I will discuss a little bit later. Yes. So this book mostly deals with like, oh, by the way, love the cover art here. It's really good here. By Juliet Naka. It's really good here. You're probably thinking, man, it's art done basically the interiors. Yeah, we open up basically. We see Sinestro in bed with 2 smoking hot alien women. And he's got a tattoo of himself. Yeah. It's Sinestro. He can do whatever the heck he wants. Oh, by the way, does the keeper of the book of Parallax, is she appear in this book? Yes, she does. We see a return of the Sinestro Corps, which this is probably the first time they've been active in quite some time. Probably this book, she didn't do much of anything. We do see Teen Lantern doing some stuff here. We also have just normal Green Lantern stuff happening these first few issues. While doing this various other stuff. And it's always brought in this book that prior to this book that Hal Jordan never heard of basically the Frontier Lantern. Never heard of it before. Yet basically she's a very good Green Lantern. Yeah. Also, I'm not really a big fan of basically John Stewart's like uniform he wears in this book. I'm not really sure why they have wear this, but just because he's the lead of the Corps doesn't necessarily have to wear this. And by the way, we also have people from New Apocalypse. We have people from Apocalypse here. We also have Thanagarians out of this book too, and people from New Genesis, which is interesting. There's like various different sci-fi stuff. We also have it where Jessica Cruz joins, of all things, the Sinestro Corps. Yes, and Simon Boz has also lost his arm. Yes. Yeah, here's the thing. Sinestro, basically, of course, you have Jessica Cruz returning members of the people he knows to Sinestro. By the way, Sinestro, for some reason, now here's the thing. If you read the Hal Jordan Green Lantern book, you know that basically Sinestro had gray in his temples. Here, he's been de-aged. I'm not really sure why the heck. Now, here's the thing. They popped up in other books. They popped up in Superman. He still had gray in his temples. Here in this book, nope. It's like he's been de-aged. Yeah, and of course, basically, like, and of course, you show a little bit of how Sinestro got the ring, which is interesting. And she has kind of no choice to become a Yellow Lantern. He even has a little, like, eye signal. By the way, in case you're curious, though, like, who started her basically having like a little symbol, basically what she's part of, on her eye. That was Jeff. That was basically whoever the artist was Jeff Johns' Justice League, because that started when she was Power Ring. Yes, when she first had Power Ring, well, the ring of Harold Jordan from Earth 3. That's what I started with, and basically, they kept that since then. I think it was Ethan Skyber gave that look for her. Mm-hmm. So, it's like a lot of really wild stuff happens over the course of this book. And yeah, and then we have where, and then for some reason, like toward the end of the book, for some strange reason, like apparently the Green Lanterns become rulers of a planet for no reason for about 2 issues where the book ends. And apparently we have this prison where you have these guards that are wearing the uniform of Adam Strange for some reason. Yeah, I'm not really sure why the heck this is. It's one of the most bizarre decisions basically that this book made. We have weird, odd stuff here. Then we have where, oh yeah, rule of the planet. Then we have, by the end after 2 issues of this rule of one planet thing, and of course they buy a guardian and just interesting stuff here. Not terrible per se. But sadly, this is the last thing we have of Green Lantern for quite a while. Well, until the start of next year. This book is pretty good. I give this book a 9 out of 10. Final thoughts on this very brief run for Green Lantern. Excuse me. Out of all the Green Lantern books I've seen since I've been reviewing Green Lantern, this is the shortest run I have ever seen. This is shorter. This is probably almost as... Now, here's the thing. Anybody who's actually wrote Green Lantern... Now, this also is the shortest Green Lantern run, per se, because the previous 2 books, you also had... Well, you might think, well, what about The Green Lantern? Well, that and along with Season 2 were 2 12-issue maxi series. Done with the same writer over the course of 2 freaking years. This was an ongoing series started last year. First, we had a simply just Green Lantern book, first published in about 5 years at that point. I was very happy to see a return of this book. Sadly, the book got canceled after 12 issues of the annual. Now, according to Critical Theory, he thought, oh, this broke the universe of Green Lantern. Reading this book, like, no. I'm not sure where we get that theory from. Yeah, Critical Theory, basically, like, that's just probably his opinion on the matter. Reading this book, no, not really. It reads like a regular Green Lantern book. I've read a lot of Green Lantern books over the years, over the past decade, and this feels like a standard Green Lantern book. It's not like Geoff Johns or Robert Venditti per se, but it feels more like late 90s Green Lantern. It basically you have, and here's the thing about this book that I think was kind of dumb. Okay, now you had basically you had too many Green Lanterns focused on a book called Green Lantern. You had Teen Lantern, you had the Frontier Lantern, Hal Jordan, who's barely focused the book, John Stewart, yes, John Stewart, Simon Baz, and just you have 6 Green Lanterns in a book called Green Lantern. And for some reason, Simon Baz gets shafted in this book by having his arm get chopped off, and he's got a ring back now. Yep, Jessica Cruz is part of the Yellow Lantern Corps for reasons. We also have where Chip, who is a squirrel, he becomes a member of of all things, the Blue Lantern Corps. We also have one of the Green Lanterns become a member of the Star Sapphire Corps for reasons. Surprisingly, no Red Lantern Corps here, which is quite odd. Yeah, here's the strange thing about this book. Did you know there's actually 2 human Green Lanterns missing from this entire book? It's Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner. To my knowledge, they don't really give an explanation for it at all. I think they mentioned that Guy was on Earth and Kyle Rayner is missing. But it's like that plot there was basically no follow through. By the end, I thought this book was really good. The book, in my opinion, felt a bit disjointed. It felt as though the writer didn't know what he wanted to do with this book. But I don't mind the ending. Do I mind the fact that basically you have how you have Jon Stewart becoming basically a Emerald Knight. No, I have no problem with that. It's fine. It sets something new. Okay. I'm glad he's getting a solo book soon next year, along with Hal Jordan. Great. That's fine. Where's the Granite Decor book? Really good question there. Yep. All right. Now, not only am I in here, but there's a couple of things I want to talk about here from this epic collection. I have basically talked about the Connect missions already, along with their annual, but there's a couple of things I have not talked about here before. First up is from the annual from Hulk. Yes, it's actually the first book published in this book. It's Incredible Hulk Annual number 7. Or most of this book, this is a book that has. Oh, by the way, the book is written. This annual is written by Roger Stern and John Byrne of the co-plot of this book, with Bob Layton on the inking for this book. Yes, this feels like a standard Hulk annual, a Hulk story. It just had feature Angel and his girlfriend Candace Southern. Yes, this woman was later murdered in the X Factor book. Most of the footage is Hulk versus Angel. It is definitely a really good annual. Really fun annual. It also makes guest appearance by not only Angel, but also the Champions. We also have Master Mold appearing here. Probably, they call it I Am Master Mold, the Supreme Sentinel, which is interesting to say the least. You might be thinking, okay, does the Hulk fight a Sentinel? Oh, yes, he does. He fights a freaking Sentinel. Yeah, really fun annual. I love it. It's just really good here. Also, this is really interesting that we actually have it where apparently for some reason we have the Hulk in the tube that was supposed to be for the Blob. It's his stupid Blob. He's like, what is Hulk doing in his stupid tube? It's so funny. Yeah. I'm like, who's supposed to be the other one? Cyclops. Yeah, apparently. The 14 was Cyclops, and we have Marvel go here, which is so hilarious. He breaks out, beats the crap out of Master Mold, and that's it. This is a really fun annual. And apparently this annual was supposed to be set between Uncanny X-Men 110 and 111. Yep. Now, next thing I'm talking about here is from Marvel Team Up. Let's see, where is it here? Not that one. Here it is. Marvel Team Up and issue number 89. Now, this book is done by Chris Claremont, the writer of Uncanny X-Men. Yeah, you have, I think it's supposed to be Amanda, Amanda Softon is supposed sister, slash girlfriend, like, I want a bath, I want a bed, I want to ride home. Where's Kurt? Anyway, he's like, boo. Yeah, gives her a kiss. Hello, gorgeous. Miss me? You elf. Where you go scaring me like that? Yeah, Nightcrawler, you're impossible. I know that's my best feature. Yeah, I'm trying to get mad at you, Kurt, I really am. But I can't, you're too darn cute. I missed you a lot. And about the kiss and smooch. I'm like, damn, you lucky guy, Nightcrawler. I think the most recent thing for Amanda Soft, I think, was basically in the Nightcrawler book by Chris Claremont. Yeah, it's just really interesting here. It's mostly about Spider-Man and of course, Nightcrawler with, of course, Amanda Softon taking on frickin', well, we also have Arcade. Yes. This is described as a really fun Marvel Team-Up issue. Yeah. And of course, Spider-Man has to hold the baggage of taking down the one criminal who worked with Miss Lockley, which is interesting to say the least. Yeah. By the way, the annual, 10 out of 10. The Marvel Team 89, I'll give it 9.5. Yep. But yeah, that's going to be a particular view. And that's it, video tonight, because I have no more time on videos tonight. Tomorrow, I'm hoping to get a little more videos done tomorrow. So even though I got a stream to do tomorrow, that won't happen until like 9 8 o'clock because I might be going out to eat tomorrow night. I'm not sure, but who knows? Depends. Okay? Next video. Bye.